Tally-ho, people of the internet, we're back with some Escape from Tarkov, and this time around is some night raids. Some night raid ops on the woods. Now, in the woods, you have basically two choices. Either you wait for daylight, or you go in at night with the night vision goggles, or you can go in just naked with a knife, and then whatever you escape with, that's a bonus because you've escaped. Now, you can turn your gamma up a little bit, but I think that sort of ruins the immersion of it. You know, I sort of wanted... It's been so long since I've not really had that feeling of just bumping into a player next to you. Like, for those of you that have not really purchased the game, you're still waiting for the closed beta, you're still sort of just watching footage and making your mind up if you want to buy the game. And I do advise you should get it. I mean, beta is going to come out sort of early summer, it's going to be a closed beta, and then the open beta, they said, it's going to be somewhere around towards the middle end of the summer, something like that. So you should definitely get it at that stage because there's going to be lots of cool stuff been happening by then. Scav mode, lots of weapons, stories and all that sort of stuff. Quests and things like that. It's all going to sort of come together by then a lot more. But what I mean about that feeling is that remember those of you that played DayZ back in the day, how cool it was when he had the 24-hour cycle. You know, when you just sort of bumped into zombies and when you bumped into players and you sort of had no idea what's going on, you sort of heard shooting and you just sort of went prone and ducked and waited to see around the cities if there's any zombies or... You know, that sort of feeling, I really missed that. I've not really had that since, what, 2000, was it 13 when DayZ, 12, 13 when he came out? It's a really long time since it's sort of gone to 24-hour servers with daylight and things like that. And it was just not that cool anymore. As it was in the first couple of months or the first sort of 6 months of the game. So that's kind of what's bringing this back for me. That is making it really exciting that even though this is PvP, I mean, a PvP match, there's all sorts of shooting going around. You don't know, is he going to have night vision goggles? Is he going to have a sort of bigger scope than you? Is he going to have a sniper rifle? Is he going to be perched on a little rock somewhere that you have no idea and in daylight you'd see him a mile away? That's kind of what makes it interesting playing it at night. Now, one of the things I'm not really keen on at night is that the rewards are just simply not enough. Now, let's say you've got the game, you've lost all your stuff early on and you didn't really know what's going to sort of happen and you end up losing your stuff and you haven't really found any night vision and you have to go and buy them. Now, if you were to buy a fully kitted that M4, that's probably 100 grand. If you're going to buy night vision goggles, you can get them for 100, but there's another one that the trader is selling for 120. Altogether, by the time you buy your sort of bag and by the time you buy your mags, your armor, your sort of everything that you need to buy, I mean, you're looking at spending 200-300 grand on just one sort of fully kitted out loadout for you to go in at night. Now, dying, you automatically lost all that, so then you're back to square one and you have to go back and do it all over again. Back in the factory, stabby as many AIs as you can while you still can, because that's going to be a thing that's going to be removed at some point, so it's going to be PvP only, it's not going to be any AIs. Although I still think that you should be able to go in the offline raids just to sort of learn the map a little bit, learn the aiming, learn how to sort of control your weapons and recoil and things like that. I mean, that should be a thing where you give the players a bit of a chance to learn a little bit more about the game before they sort of just hop into the PvP. Now, going into this night raid, I wasn't really expecting to come out with something really fancy. The only thing that I was really hoping to get is maybe a couple of decent weapons off players, because really the AI is mostly going to have a couple of AKs or a shotgun or a pistol or something like that, so nothing really that fancy. And one of the things that I kind of been wondering is why not the devs, why don't they just look into this and let the scavs spawn in accordingly? So if you spawn in the daytime, sure, you can spawn in with the regular gear, not a problem, but at night, why wouldn't they spawn with, you know, stuff like these, like night vision goggles and all the weapons with attachments and flashlights and lasers and things like that? You know, make it a bit more of an incentive for the players to sort of get in there and get it a bit more populated. I mean, this guy, he didn't have any night vision goggles. Maybe he had his gamma up, maybe he didn't. He came in with a pistol hoping to get a couple of things, and then that was that. He didn't really see me. I mean, you would have seen me a mile away in sort of broad daylight, but because I have the night vision goggles, I do have a bit of an advantage. But like I said, at the same time, I'm taking all the risk. If you'd have sneaked up on me somehow and shot me in the face a couple of times, then maybe you would have got all my gear and that's 200, 300, 400 grand gone. Just like that, and then you have to do it all over again, like I said earlier on. So I think it would be a pretty cool thing if the devs sort of implemented that sort of thing into the game where the reward is a little bit greater at night. the AIs maybe will spawn with different gear, they'll spawn in with sort of night vision and things like that, because I've not really, I mean, you can find night vision goggles on the factory, and you can get lucky and find them inside raids. For me, I wasn't really that lucky so far, and I must have over 100, 200 matches altogether played on all of the maps, from customs to factory to woods. I've tried it on PvE, I've tried it on PV0, I've tried it with no AIs and no players either, because I mean there is an option for you to sort of just go in there and do a bit of looting and learn the map and things like that without having any players or any of the eyes bother you, so you can just go in and sort of explore if you want to. But I've not really been lucky, but I know for a fact that you can find that sort of stuff, so I think it would be a pretty cool idea for them to sort of implement something like that into the game, where you could go in and you can expect to get something greater for your sort of troubles, if that makes any sense. There was an update today, and I was really hoping that that update is going to be Scav mode, and they said it's going to be out this month, and I wasn't really expecting that when he said this month it's going to be really at the end of the month. So I still have my fingers crossed that in the next couple of days the Scav mode is going to be out. It could be on the 24th, because that's when the NDA is going to get lifted, so it might be that that's when the Scav mode is going to get released. I mean, as soon as it gets released, I'm going to post a video and tell you all about it, show what it's all about. But you'll have to let me know what you think about the night raids. Do you think that the AI should have an increased chance of spawning in with better gear, better loot, better stuff like that, so it sort of makes it worth your while while you're getting in there at night? That's it for me for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up, post a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.